Okay, so we're going to look at the third part of our Systema trilogy, and we've looked at when to move, we looked at where to move to. Third and final part is what do we do once we get there. So we're going to use the stick and the knife for this, not as a technique, but just because it's very clear, the movement is very clear with the stick. And also when you start doing this work with the stick, you have to kind of project your movement out through the stick. So it's a very good method for learning to project your movement out. And what we're going to do first of all is the knife attack is coming in. So we've already established, as soon as I see that develop, I start to move, I position myself, and what I'm going to do here is then work here. And I'm going to work to take his balance with the stick. As I say, this is not a technique as such, because against the knife with the stick, I'm probably going to smash his hand and hit him somewhere else. But this is attribute development. It's a way of training this method. And I spoke before at the start of this about working inside the movement, and that's what this is. Because of course I can work outside the movement, I can use leverage, I can use blunt force and everything else. But what I'm looking to do here is to take his internal structure through point of contact. I take his balance, I'm hooking in to his movement and his internal movement as well. So, the first thing is, you'll notice, to get contact with the stick, I don't come straight across. If this is a straight line and this is a straight line, and I'm looking for an optimal point there, there's only one point where they cross. There's only one intersection. If I miss that, or my timing's out, then that's it, I'm done. Instead, what I do is I move with his movement and pick it up. So that gives me more opportunity to position in the right place. Once I've got that contact here, now what I'm not pushing him away. Okay? That's just like an external force. That might work in some cases. In this case, if he's got any sensitivity about him, he'll kind of work around that and continue. Likewise, I'm not just deflecting. Again, that's a possibility. I can work maybe just to deflect this, but again, it's perhaps not ideal. What I'm looking to do instead is here, this curve hooks into his movement. Once I've hooked into his movement, I transfer my movement up and into him. If I push, different feeling. If I deflect, different feeling. If I smash his hand, I win. So, it's very good to work with the stick at first to try and get that in. Once you've got that, you can start, we can use the knife. We can start working instead with the fingers. Now again, I'm not saying if someone attacks you with a knife, you use the fingers, unless they're loaded. But I'm working that same idea. I pick up that movement, I hook into it, and then I hook into his internal system. His balance, his tension, his movement, and I direct it. So you should be able to do this with finger pressure if you've got the right place. Now this method is very good because it teaches you to be precise. You don't have to excite the nervous system to do it. You know, it's not like I've got to do this kind of stuff. I can be very calm, I can be very professional, I can be very precise, and I can work according to what the situation needs. So again, this is not the technique, but this is a training method to get that feel. Once you've got that feel, start playing around. So, what I did there, take the balance, create tension, push down into the weak point of the structure and into the tension. Okay? Because if I can hook into his movement here, I can hook into his movement in other places as well, without force, without being tense and aggressive myself. Okay? So you can start playing with it. First, you really got to try and get this working. If you find the finger difficult, at first, then start using the hand. See? Just without the knife, maybe it's just some grabs or something. See? So again, I'm capturing the movement, I'm taking the balance, I'm positioning him in such a way that his structure is broken, but the tension is working all down here. So all I have to do is push down into that tension to take him down. So the work can be very soft, very soft. And of course this is where it gets difficult as far as video goes, because people want to see, you know, a lot of struggle and sweat and everything else. And you see someone just doing this and, you know, it doesn't look real. How much am I paying you?
Zero.
So, learn to tap in to the person's internal structure. It can be soft, but it also can be very dangerous, because you can put the person in positions here where you can start putting tension and torque into the joints especially. And if the person is not relaxed, doesn't know how to fall well and everything else, then there's potential there for some injury. So if you want to speed it up, and of course at some point you're going to put this in your sparring and testing, make sure that your partner is good at protecting themselves as well. The protection is a two-way thing. The more confident he is at protecting himself, then the more I can up my work a little bit, then he can come in with more faster or more realistic attacks, and we can really start testing it. But if you get stuck, you come back to that original idea, pick up the movement, take the balance. Pick up the movement, take the balance. Just one other thing with this, because some other arts do this as well, especially the Chinese internal styles, but they tend to work like, here's a boat and I'm the sea, and I kind of float. I kind of float him. That's good, but I need to have this nice strong stance to do that, because they work from a stance position. Another advantage with the Systema method is everything is very upright and loose and relaxed. So I hope that those three films give you some ideas and some stuff to work with. If you've got any sensible comments or questions, please leave it below. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Sign up for our mailing list, the link is below there. And I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.